Sense properties. Like we said before, meaning could be fuzzy, ambiguous, unclear. It is difficult. Meaning is very difficult. If we need to talk meaningfully about anything, we must agree on the meanings of all the words in our utterances. However, if someone wants to hinder or obstruct communication, he or she may begin to quibble, to play with the meanings of everyday words. All the words in our everyday communication are understood by speakers as having an indispensable hardcore meaning. What is sense? The sense of an expression is its indispensable hardcore of meaning. And of course, the kind of meaning we are dealing with here is the sentence meaning, not the speaker's meaning. This definition, therefore, excludes the influence of context on the senses of an expression. The sense of an expression can be thought of as the sum of its sense properties and sense relations with other expressions. Sense properties. There are three important sense properties of sentences. Number one, the property of being analytic. Number two, the property of being synthetic. Number three, the property of being contradictory. Or we can say analyticity, syntheticity, and contradiction. Now we are going to start with analytic sentence. Now, what is an analytic sentence? It is a sentence that is necessarily true. It is always true. Why? As a result of the senses of the words in it. For example, if we say apples are fruits, this sentence is analytic because it is necessarily true. And the truth of this sentence results from the relationship between the senses of the words in it, especially the relationship between apples and fruits. All the sentences given here are analytic sentences. What is a synthetic sentence? A synthetic sentence is a sentence that is not analytic, but could be true or false, depending on how the world is. Example, Tamim is from Jordan. There is nothing in the senses of Tamim and Jordan that makes this sentence necessarily true or false. The truth of this sentence depends on whether Tamim actually lives in London or not. All the sentences given here are synthetic sentences. What is the difference between analytic sentences and synthetic sentences? Analytic sentences are always true. And of course, their truth depends on the relationship between the senses in the sentences. Synthetic sentences may be true or false, depending on the context in which they are used. The third type of sense properties is a contradictory sentence or contradiction. It is a sentence that is necessarily false as a result of the senses of the words in it. It is the opposite of an analytic sentence. Analytic sentences are always true. Contradictory sentences are always false. For example, cats are fish. Now, the sentence here is contradictory as a result of the senses of the words cats and fish, because cats are not actually fish. The sentences given in this slide are all contradictory sentences. We can form a contradictory sentence from an analytic sentence and vice versa by adding or removing the negative article not. For example, cats are pets is an analytic sentence. Cats are not pets is a contradictory sentence. Synthetic sentences are informative sentences, whereas analytic and contradictory sentences are not informative sentences. Interrogative and imperative sentences cannot be analytic, synthetic, or contradictory. Only declarative sentences can have sense properties. There is an interdependence between sense properties and sense relations. Sense properties depend on the sense relations or the semantic relations between the senses of the words in it. For example, that man is male. This sentence is analytic because of the sense relationship between the words man and male, which is called hyponymy. In the second sentence, that woman is a man. This sentence is contradictory because of the sense relationship between the words man and woman, which is called antonymy.